Alright, so let's talk about whole numbers today. And a whole number is a number greater than 0, but doesn't have a decimal or fraction associated with it. So I have right here, if I read this correctly, it's 1,234,567,890. So if we just are talking about place value, we have the ones, the tens, the hundreds, thousands, ten thousands, and I'm just going to start abbreviating, the hundred thousands, the millions, ten millions, 100 millions, and then billions. And this keeps going up and up forever. But hopefully you already knew that. So let's go into writing and comparing these numbers. Alright, so now we're going to compare some numbers. So the first two numbers I have there is 45,321 and 43,521. So when you're comparing numbers, you want to start at the largest number. So in this case, we have 10,000s in both of these. If you look at the 10,000s, we have a 4 and a 4. Those are the same. So you go to the next number, or next place value, which is the thousands. In the first one we have 5,000, the second one we have 3,000. So the 5,000 is greater than 3,000, so 45,321 is greater than 43,521. Alright, next we're going to put the next set of numbers in order from least to greatest. So again, you start with the greatest place value. So we have 30,000, 30,000, and 30,000 for those three numbers. And the other one is 40,000, so that's going to be our greatest one. So 43,100 we already know is our greatest number. We look at the next place value, we have a 4,000, 2,000, and a 4,000. So the 2,000 is going to be the smallest one, so that's going to be our least number. So 32,500 is our least. Now we have to look at the next place value, which is the hundreds. We have a 5 and a 0. So 0 is less than 5, so 34,000 is going to be our next number. And then our last number, 34,500. So we have put those numbers in order from least to greatest. Alright, sometimes when we're working with whole numbers, we don't want an exact answer. Sometimes we just need to get close. So in this case, we have 5,862 minus 3,269. And I don't want the exact answer here. I'm just going to estimate. So I'm going to round to the nearest hundred. So I'm going to take that 5,800 and round it to that 8, and the 3,269 and round it to that 2. So the first one, the 8 looks at the 6. The 6 is greater than 5, so it tells it to round up. So I'm going to have 5,900 minus, that 2 looks at the 6. The 6 tells it to round up because it's greater than 5, so minus 3,300. So when we subtract this, 5,900 minus 3,300, we're going to get 2,600. So if you're just estimating, it's fine to round. Another thing you might want to know about is compatible numbers. And this is something like 562 divided by, let's go with 6. Now, if I'm just working with compatible numbers, that's the same thing as the estimation with subtraction. I don't actually want to do 562 divided by 6. Because it's not exactly divisible by 6. So I need a number that's close to 562 that is divisible by 6. And if you remember your divisibility rules, to be divisible by 6, it has to be divisible by 2 and 3. So this is even, so it's divisible by 2, but it's not divisible by 3. So I need to add something to this so it's divisible by 3. So I got 5 plus 6 is 11, 12, 13. So if I add 2 more to it, I get 564. And that's going to be divisible by 2 and 3, so it's divisible by 6. So now I can do 564 divided by 6. 6 doesn't go into 5, but 6 goes into 6 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. Subtract, I get 24. And 6 goes into 24 4 times. So your answer there is about 94.